Yo, what's up? This your boy M Breezy back at it again, man, like I always do around this time. What's up, Cowboy Nation? What's up, YouTube? Hey, man, before we get started with this video today, man, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let's share the video, man. Let's continue to help the channel grow. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in. So let's get on with the show for today, man. I know I said earlier this week that Jerry Jones wasn't going to do this press conference until Saturday because of his court situation. But I guess everything got settled very quickly. And today, Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, and Matt McCarthy came out today and did their press conference like they always do before training camp. And we're going to dive right into it, man. And you know, Jerry Jones, man, he's up there in age, man. He's got old right now, you know. Hey, Jerry Jones is a character, man. But, hey, the guy's still up on his game, man. And he's still a slick character with that little slick mouth. And, you got to listen to what Jerry Jones says because this guy's very slick. He's very slick. He's very condescending, man. Hey, take it for what it's worth. But let's get on with the video, man, and tell me what you guys think about Jerry Jones, man, in this press conference. And you know how we do, man. We're gonna do our commentary as we always do through this video. So let's get on with it.
From a football standpoint, I know you've said before that the worst place a fan base can be is when it's apathetic or there's apathy involved. Coming off this offseason, there doesn't seem to be apathy. There seems to be a lot of frustration with, you know, how the season ended and what you have and haven't done. And since then, do you sense a stronger sense of frustration than you have in the past? And if so, what do you attribute it to?
I'm going to need a little bit of help here, but how many Pro Bowlers do we have out here?
14.
14 Pro Bowlers on this field right now.
12 All-Pros.
And 12 All-Pros. We have an outstanding team.
Did he just say 14 Pro Bowlers and 12 All-Pros? Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's what he said. But I'm going to back it up a little bit, man, and see. But I think that's what he said.
I'm going to need a little bit of help here, but how many Pro Bowlers do we have out here?
14.
14 Pro Bowlers on this field right now.
12 All-Pros.
And 12 All-Pros. We have an outstanding team. And so that part works. We've got a lot of ambiguity in the team. I have ambiguity everywhere in the things that I look at and do. And so maybe the best thing that that God gave me was a tolerance for ambiguity. And so that's what you have. That's what it frustrates you. And in frustrating you, obviously, it frustrates fans to not have closure or to not have bright lines. That's not in my mind. That's not in my life. And so that I don't ever anticipate it getting any better with the
And for you guys that don't know what ambiguity means, I'm going to tell you what ambiguity means. The quality of being open to more than one interpretation. Inexactness. Ambiguity means the quality of being open to more than one interpretation. That's what ambiguity means, in case you didn't know.
NFL and the Cowboys. As a matter of fact, since we last met here last year, there's been even more ambiguity thrown on the table. Hello, NFL. Good to be with you today.
Clarence.
Clarence Hill, 4-Star Telegram. I've been here 35 years, been about 28. But there were times when you did know what you had coming into camp. And I know you said you got the Pro Bowls and the All-Pros, but they didn't finish the job. The goal this year is to finish the job and go further than it did last year. With all this ambiguity, with CD not being here, talk about what you did in the off-season. What gives fans hope that you can take the next step? Because that's the bottom line. Not just do what you did last year with the same guys.
I appreciate you saying that, Terrence. Clarence.
he called Clarence. He a Terrence. Hey, Jerry Jones getting old, man. He's getting old, man. I'm telling you, Jerry Jones. He's getting real old, but he's still slick, man. But he's still up on game, though. I can tell you that much. He's still smart as hell.
Never gets old.
Are we at Oxnard? I've forgotten your question. Seriously. Hey, quit asking questions that I haven't got on my notes here. But seriously, will you condense it a little bit and let me go from there?
Well, I mean, it's been ambiguity. Certainly, we know that. But you talked about the Pro Bowl. The goal is to take the next step, though. You know, you had these same guys last year. You take the next. Why should the fans be excited that you can take the next step? Just in spite of all this ambiguity, especially with CD Lamb not being here, open cap, with even more ambiguity with your players.
Well, I'm probably because of the way we ended the season last year, I'm more about winning the award for the best way to end the season than I am winning the award for showing up at camp with my house in order.
So what he's saying is he rather be coming out with a Super Bowl trophy. He worry about more at the end of the season than more than the beginning of the season, because we all know how the end of every season ends. Us going home in the wild card round or the division round, and he's tired of it.
I'm more worried about ending the season than I am a fast start. You're absolutely right. I'm worried more about, I'm all in to having that game come out different, the last one we played. Now, what I will say, when I look at our roster, when I look at where we are, when I look at the quality of our coaching, I will say that I like as much or better than any time how we're going to be hanging around the rim so that when we get to that game, we can come out of there with a different result. So I think we're very, very positioned, i.e. hanging around the rim, again, which you have to be up there and around there to have a better result at that end. Now, the big question you pointed out, and appropriately so, is do you think you've got a chance to come up with better results when you get there? I don't want to sound, though, and be trite about getting there. That's a big deal. And I want you to know, as much as you might criticize me for it, I take a lot of solace in the fact that we've had the 12-game seasons that wins that we've had over the last several years, the fact that we've got the personnel we've got here at camp, the fact that we've got the coaches we've got at camp. I take a lot of solace that we're going to be there to get a chance to go to that playoffs and do better.
Todd?
Todd Archer of the ESPN. For Jerry and Steven, why has it been, with CD, obviously the latest one, why has there been difficulty in not being able to re-sign your key guys to extensions when that's not been a deal in the past? And do you have to alter how you guys approach your approach to the negotiations when you have these contracts coming up the way you do?
This time last year, I'm going to have to hit it first, but then we'll hear from the guy that really knows what he's talking about. Was it Martin that wasn't here last year?
Correct.
Correct. Pretty big deal. Okay? All buttoned up, contract and all. Wasn't here. Does that ever happen? Of course it does. Look.
He's saying, what Jerry's saying is that there's no big deal if someone's not here at training camp because of a contract situation. Last year, Zach Martin was here, not here because of same issue, contract situation. So, but at the end, he got signed, man, and he reported to camp. So it's no big deal, man. You know how Jerry Jones like to prolong stuff, man, just so we can make the news. That's just how Jerry Jones do business, man. And that's why he got one of the richest teams in the NFL, because everybody like to keep the Cowboys name in their mouth, and it is what it is.
All over the league. It happens all over the league. So I don't flare when it's happening to us. I'm aware of it. You must give me that I'm aware that we want to get these guys to camp. Business as usual, as far as I'm concerned. That's the point of that diatribe I just had before this. I'm used to this. I can live with this. And I feel confident if you look at the fundamentals here, we can get back to the shot we were. I hope that we'll be in better shape. So that's January. Okay, this is July. No, I don't get bent out of shape over the fact that somebody is not here or here at all.
So there you heard first part of this. I got 2 more clips. But the first part of that, man, you heard that, about Jerry Jones and, you know, the contract situation, man, with CeeDee Lamb and all these guys, man. And he said, like he said, he don't too much worry about that stuff. And what he most concerned about is how we end the season. He don't be too concerned about the start of training camp and what to expect going into the season. He's more worried about what happened on the end of the season. And I believe that's why Jerry Jones has not, you know, gave these guys this big contract, because he tired of giving these guys this money, but at the end of the season they don't produce. Whether it be CeeDee Lamb, whether it be Dak Prescott, whether it be Michael Parsons, all this, that, and the third. But most of the blame goes on the quarterback, because when the team win, the quarterback get all the praise, and when they lose, he should get all the praise too, because they are the highest paid on the team, and there should be, and they are labeled as the leaders of the football team. But that first clip, man, that was pretty much basically what he was saying. Let's get into the second clip, man. Now he's gonna talk about Dak Prescott, and listen very closely, you Dak Prescott fanboys, about what he's saying. So we're gonna, you know, listen to what he said about the Dak Prescott situation. Then we're gonna come back with some commentary. So let's dive right into it.
John
Michaud with The Athletic. Jerry, you mentioned about Dak potentially going to the final year of his contract, you being all in on this year, him being all in on this season. Has that allowed you to think how long you guys have worked together, you and Dak, that this could be his last season with the Cowboys?
I don't think so. Just to be very specific, I do not think that this will be his last year with the Cowboys at all. Am I being psychotic relative to my mirror? No. It's pretty clear, I think. I want to say it if it hadn't been clear, of how much we appreciate what Dak Prescott has meant to this team in a positive way. And the players do play better when he's out there. He does make his teammates play at a higher level. There's no question about it. So I'm right there in line with his best fan. But believe it or not, in my life, I've had a lot of things I wanted that I couldn't get because I couldn't afford it. Now, have I learned to live with that in 80-something years? You bet I have, and life does go on. And sometimes when you get a bump like that, you turn around and do better than you would have had you got what you wanted. You'd have never known it had you not had to go get there. There's been some of my life with the Dallas Cowboys that's reflected.
So basically what he said then was, you know, sometimes you think you want things, but then when you get it, you don't want it. But then again, if you move on along from something, and the next thing that comes in it's a better situation than you thought it was going to be, because you were scared to go out there and make that leap. Basically what he's saying is that, hey, sometimes that you think you might need someone, a person or a player, because, you know, like you said, Dak Prescott made the team better, but sometimes there are things out there better than the thing that you have now. So don't be scared to go out there on that limb and try to find something new, because guess what? It might be better than what you had.
That had I gotten what I was sick about and ready to jump that I didn't get, had I gotten it, it wouldn't have turned out as positive as it's turned out. So much of this thing we do, specifically with putting rosters together, when you're dealing with availability, injury, when you're dealing with talent fluctuations, when you're dealing with the competitiveness, so much of it creates a level where you just got to go and see what happens. Now, that's not unique. Millions of your readers and your fans that you communicate with, millions of them live that every day. There's nothing new about a human being having to live with ambiguity. Nothing new about that. We all do it. Well, it's alive and well in what we deal with and what I'm dealing with every day. Again, it's a privilege to be here dealing with it now. This isn't the smallest violin. But what the point I'm trying to make is, there is nothing new about not having these questions answered that you reflect, and we've reflected in this off season. And yes, I've gone in with not my wish list fully completed, and I've been a part with the Cowboys and been a part of it in the other parts of my life, ended up being the best I ever did.
So y'all heard it for yourself. So you could pretty much think for yourself about what he just said about Dak Prescott, because a lot of you guys think that the Cowboys won't succeed without Dak Prescott. Some of you guys think that it's end all be all with Dak Prescott if we let him go. But hey, like the man just said, a lot of things that you want and you try to keep on to it, you know, at the end of the day, it might not be worth it. Then go out there and get something that you know that you're uncertainty of, and you get it, bring it in, it might be better than what you had. So I'm telling you, the Dak Prescott contract y'all think y'all are gonna get, I don't see it. I could be wrong, because like I said, Jerry Jones is a very shrewd operator, and he can say some things, and it can mean something else. That's what he said about ambiguity. It meaning more than one's interpretation. Basically what he's saying. So hey, who knows, man? What we're gonna see, and we can watch the thing play out. And let's get into this last clip, man, of this little press conference, and then we're gonna talk about some more.
Saad.
Saudis, The Athletic. Steven, you mentioned that you guys are in a unique situation with all these contracts. Just what is unique? I mean, we've seen other deals get done around the league this offseason. What do you feel is unique about this situation for you guys?
I just think it's very unique that you have a top quarterback on your team, as well as two players either side of the ball, offense and defensive player, that feel like they're, and rightfully so, the best non-quarterback football players in the league. So you add that up, and certainly it stresses the cap, if you will. But we think we can get them both done. We think we can get Dak done. We think we can get all these things done, but it does require you to make some tough decisions in other places to draft and develop and play your draft picks. That's why, like you said, it wasn't easy. A guy we drafted, a Biotic, a Tony Pollard we drafted, and think the world of both of them. Have to let a Hall of Famer like Tyron Smith walk out the door. Those are tough decisions, but those are decisions you have to make if you want to keep your up-and-coming young players. And I think, we're fortunate that we have this issue.
Stephen, I think as you were making that statement, those three players you named could be 70% of all the money you got, 70% of your payroll. Now you need a little money for the other 51. That's a challenge, especially a challenge when you've used some of the very money that you're working with. You've used it for years past, so you probably got some of there. That's not singing the blues, and it wasn't unanticipated. What is a pleasure is that you're dealing with that quality in that situation, how to keep the top quarterback and how to keep on either side of the ball, as he just mentioned. Add it up and you'll see about anywhere from 70 to 80% of your whole payroll there. Now, how to figure that and keep the kind of supporting cast that Dak has had in his career. How to keep that supporting cast so that Dak can maintain and improve on where he is.
See, for all you Dak Prescott fanboys that don't like to hear the truth, what the man is saying, that they've been building around Dak Prescott ever since he's been here. And without these certain players Dak Prescott has around him, if you don't have them, man, Dak Prescott cannot succeed, because Dak Prescott cannot carry a team. That's basically what he's saying. So y'all talking about y'all want Dak Prescott to go get all this money, man, $60 million a year, be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. It might benefit Dak's pocket, but it don't benefit the Dallas Cowboys. That might feed some of you fanboys' ego, but it don't feeds the team ego. See, you guys worry about one player instead of worry about the team. See, and that's a big problem with you guys. You're just fanboys.
And be spending on those 3 players 75% of your money, that's a challenge. How do you keep a supporting cast like the one we're talking about out here right now, plus on 3 players spend 75%, and plus have spent a little bit of that on your credit card for years past? That's not singing the blues. I'm privileged to get to sit here and try to make it work out, but it's real. It's real. And you look around the league and everybody does it. If somebody on any one of those players happened to not have to be paying a quarterback, or happen not to have 2 players on each side of the ball that they're paying, they've got more money to spend for that play. Are there other clubs that don't have what we're just outlining? You bet there are. And so they have got more of their cap that they might allocate for any one of those players. And there's 31 other clubs. That's what happens.
So what he's saying, like Stephen Jones said the other day, trying to say he got to act like Houdini to get the deal done. Now I know that they can get the deals done, but who else you going to pay on the team? Dak Prescott need help, all the help he can get. This man got 14 Pro Bowlers and 12 All-Pros on his team, and this man still can't get the job done. And you guys still hollering about we need some help, but you want this guy to go eat up the cap. Eat up the cap for what? The same outcome every year? Just like Jerry Jones just said, he's more worried about the end of the season than worried about the beginning of the season and what we could be. But you guys are so blind to worry about having Dak Prescott on the team. You guys think that this is the end all be all of the Cowboys. But guess what? You're fans. You're not going nowhere. If a changes come, you're not going to go nowhere. You're just going to run your mouth and talk crap like the rest of us do.
Jerry, you mentioned that you wanted to see leaves fall. With Justin Jefferson's deal getting done, what other leaves are you waiting to see fall for CD to get done?
Well, let me see what today brings, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. No, I'm trying to be excuse. Specifically, we are so involved in trying to see where we are with our situations that is a major part of seeing the leaves fall, seeing the time go by, seeing this day and this week, how they go by. And by the way, fault, I have in my life played option quarterback so many times and wait until the last leaf on the tree. And if you want to picture an pure option quarterback going out to the sideline, I have run that ball and kept.
He got the same analogy that he did a couple of months ago about that ball, run the ball to the sideline and try to make a decision before you get out of bounds. Hey man, Jerry Jones is getting old, man. He's getting old, but he's trying to prove a point though.
And not hand it off to the back, not pitch it back, not throw it. And I have run that thing all the way out to the sideline before I made the decision, because I couldn't get whatever it took it wasn't right for me to make the decision. And so what our fans, what you're seeing, what we deal with is we're buying time. We're option quarterback, and then we're going on out toward the sideline, and we haven't handed it off. We haven't pitched it. We're trying to make our mind up what to do. Does that sound like Mahomes to you? A little bit? Okay. It do.
This guy, man. This guy, Jerry Jones, you gotta love him. You gotta love him, man. This guy crazy, man. Jerry Jones is crazy.
It really do. So having said that, I'm just trying to give you a description here. That's what we're doing. And we're waiting for something to happen in the morning.
Sounds like he's going to tell us something.
Jane.
Now here comes Jane Slater. You know, Jane Slater, she tried to get an attitude with Jerry Jones last time they had a press conference. and Jerry Jones snapped on her. So she's in her feelings. She's still in her feelings. So watch how aggressive she tried to get when answering the question. The first question is going to be to Jerry. Then I think the one going to be to Stephen Jones. Listen to the anger in her voice, the frustration in her voice.
I was going to first start with Mike, but I'd like to start with you, Jerry, and then Mike, if that's okay. Jane Slater, and I found out.
Well, Mike McCarthy, not Stephen Jones, the second question.
Real quick, Jerry, you've talked about, circling around the rim and the negotiations and the option quarterback. We've sort of seen this play before. I mean, we saw Zach hold out last year, he got paid. Ezekiel Elliott held out, he got paid. So why not just slam dunk it so you can start camp with these guys? Because to your point, we've been talking about this since April.
Well, I can go back hundreds of times and look where I should have pitched or handed it off to the back rather than keep the ball. And I can do that not just with the instances you're talking about on players, but I can do it in my life many times and say, man, I should have handed that ball off rather than keep on toward the sideline. My point is that that still, whatever frailties there are, and there are some, the negatives in my world have outweighed, the positives has outweighed the negatives. And you have to look at it. I heard one time to use every decision the Ben Franklin method. And Ben Franklin said, when you're worried and tired and can't sleep, Ben Franklin said, get up in the morning and list on one side all the positives, everything good, and then get up and take on the left side all the negatives, everything bad. And if that positive side beats that negative side by one, you're doing good.
This one for Coach McCarthy. Jerry said that God gave him a tolerance for ambiguity.
See, you can tell Jerry Jones. He really didn't give her an answer because he really don't like Jane Slater. You can see it. He don't like her because every time she asks him a question, he always give her a shady answer, and he always try to get smart. So now she got to go to Mike McCarthy and watch how she asked Mike McCarthy a question about his contract and about basically saying how you feel about Jerry Jones treat you the way you do, the way he does.
Do you share the same tolerance as it relates to your contract and not having your star wide receiver here to start camp in a year where you don't have an extension?
I really, view this question the same, my whole tenure as a head coach.
Now, what the hell do you think Mike McCarthy going to say when Jerry Jones sitting right beside him? What in the hell do you think he's going to say, James Slater? Man, boy, I swear to God, some people, man.
And particularly most of these questions here today, that's part of the business of the National Football League, and that's what it is. But clearly, my energy and my focus and really the players and the coaching staff is not even close to what we've been talking about here the last 30 minutes. We're excited and energized by this opportunity which in front of us. And it starts with this training camp. Just to be here in Oxnard again and excited about the next opportunity. And that's just the reality of competing in the National Football League. Their contract conversations, we talked about that back in the spring, and that's really where it lies with me. I really don't have any. I don't know if I've mentioned the word contract, prior to talking about it right now. So in quite some time, that's not the way we're wired, and we can't be wired that way because there's almost so much time and energy, and we're on an 11-hour workday, and the enthusiasm and energy that goes on in the meetings yesterday and today. That's what we're all about. I can't wait to get out there and get the first down. So, and that's how you get it done, and I get what's happened in the past and the frustrations of the past, but we're past that. We're energized what's in front of us and the reality of the work that we have to do to put ourselves in position to answer those questions next year. The only thing we've been guaranteed is 17 games, and that's where our work and what we identify with. So, and that's the beauty and that we have as any NFL football team, but more importantly, the specialty of being a Dallas Cowboy. So this opportunity in front of us, we want to maximize it and get to work today. And that's where our minds are. That's where, if you the locker room and the spirit of what we accomplished in the off-season program, and so much time and energy is talked about an individual that may not be here or a contract and situation. But the reality of is when we presented our off-season program awards, we had a 9% increase in workouts last year. The strength levels were an all-time high in our 5 years here under our program. So our program has improved. Our off-season program it shows those results. And from my personal experience, you improve from within. The biggest improvement of our football team will be from the men that were here throughout the spring and through training camp. And trust me, the business part of it is critical. It's important. And, obviously, Jerry and Stephen have addressed that in depth. But our focus is on winning with this roster and this locker room we have. We have a hell of a locker room. We have a hell of a locker room. And the love and energy that's in place here, that's what it's all about. And that's really the reflection of what we're talking about.
So there you go, man. You heard from the head coach, Mike McCarthy, too. Like they said, this team has this is a great team, and this team has a lot of talent on there. So you all can stop crying about what they need to go out and get all this, that, and the third, because like they said, you got 12 All Pros on this football team, 14 Pro Bowls and 12 All Pros. That's what Jerry Jones said a while ago. So. Now, hey, there you heard it, man. So you guys can stop crying about what Jerry Jones said, his all-in comment. This is what he means. The team that he has now, he's all in with this team. Now, as far as contract, I think that CeeDee Lamb might be the only guy that gets his contract this year, because we got to have CeeDee Lamb. Dak Prescott and Michael Parsons will probably have to wait. But this is what Jerry Jones means when he said all in. He's going to put it all on the line with the same team right here. He's going to go at it one more time with the same team. And, hey, at the end of the season, we're going to see where it falls. And if it ends like it ended last year, in the last couple of years, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. Basically, that's what Jerry Jones saying. But, hey, man, that's all I had to say. I just want to let you guys hear that press conference. But I got it's another clip I'm going to play later on. That I didn't get into when he said all in, but it's the ambiguity of what Jerry Jones said. But hey, man, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, man. Share the video. Let's continue to help the channel grow. Leave a comment down below, man, and tell what you guys think about Jerry Jones and the press conference that he had today. Until the next time, it's your boy Breezy, and I'm out. Holla.